They had organic SEO that made sure that I found their website, learned the things I needed to learn, went through the process on my terms, the way I wanted to. I was able to schedule a demo, based on when I wanted to have it. And it was that really beautiful sales and marketing alignment. So if you do have the opportunity to build a marketing funnel that goes all the way down into sales and into deal closure, that's a really, really beautiful thing in B2B.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Marketing Blender Show. I'm Dacia.
And I'm Daisy.
Now today we are talking about what to fix in your B2B marketing funnel. And here's the deal. So many people, the marketing gurus out there will say, you need a funnel. You have to have a funnel. Here's your checklist of success. And funnel is always on it. And you know what we have seen time and time again? No results or unclear results, or all of this time spent building a funnel with zero revenue impact. And I think that's why I'm excited to talk about this, because we are a fan of funnels. We do build these frequently for clients, but wow, there are a lot of missteps, and we're gonna go through how to make sure that people are not just throwing something out there that's an absolute waste of their time and their opportunities.
We do see a lot of B2B companies building a funnel to nowhere.
Yes.
And it's so painful to watch. And there is so much time and effort and thought and intentionality that goes into building that thing. But if there's anything that's not working along the way, it's just wasted.
Yeah. So let's dive into really quickly. A funnel is interrupting someone. It is giving them something that they didn't know that they want. It hooks their attention. So guess what? That means when you are thinking about your funnel, your messaging and your offer has to capture curiosity, and or it needs to validate the pain that they're in and the urgency that they have to solve a problem. This is absolutely critical. It has to be interesting is what's boiling down. So you really have to take the time to get this right. Daisy, any other thing, when you're thinking about, it not blending into the bland wah that can be out there sometimes, like what are some of the other things about making sure you're capturing people's attention?
Yes, I would say that mirroring is always going to be the number one thing to look at. So mirroring always means putting yourself in your buyer's shoes exactly where they are right now, not where you would like them to be on the journey, not trying to drag them, into the future with you, but literally the thing that's going to get people's attention most of all is whatever it is they're thinking about right now.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that they're hurting about right now, whatever it is they're hoping for right now. So if you make sure that your content is exactly targeted at the thing that's on their mind at the moment, that's going to be the thing that captures their attention.
Yeah, I love it. And so when I think about this, there are different elements of a funnel that it's not just, oh, they saw it and all of a sudden the whole entire thing is gonna work like butter, right? There's different components that you've really got to get right. So anytime I'm thinking about this process that someone goes through when they're engaging with your funnel, there's three components. Now, and the funnel takes care of two of them if you do them well. So the very first one is there's an exchange. You are literally asking people to pay attention to you. So what are you giving them that's so good that they would pay for? Well, you're validating. It goes back to what Daisy and I were talking about, either mirroring or piquing their curiosity, but paying attention. And attention is the hardest for people to give because there is a war on attention in this world. I'm sure that's surprising to you, right? But you've really got to take the time to get that attention exchange right. Now, the second one is the time exchange. And again, our words tell on us that we ask people to spend time with us. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm educating the client. Like that's what I'm giving to exchange time. I would disagree. What you're doing is your funnel must create progress for someone. So that they need to learn something, but maybe learn about their business, their options, their point of view, but you're creating progress towards a buying decision for them, not for you. And then the third, and this is what you're teeing up, is you're teeing up the exchange for money. So you're actually building confidence in them that they are on the right path. And so when they do engage with your sales team and when they have really invested the sufficient time, then they have the confidence to keep going and not sink into buyer's remorse or no decision.
Yes, there's a reason that it's a funnel and not a tube. It's like not
Yeah.
everyone is going to be able or willing to make progress. So the thing that you're identifying as you move the right prospects through that funnel is those are the ones who are most likely to say yes at the end because they do want that forward momentum. They do want that progress. That's the thing that they respond to. And that's actually a really great way to differentiate between people who are tire kickers, who will be happy with education forever, because they're not serious about making a decision, and the people who are your ideal customers who need to make a yes decision soon.
There's a great book out there that calls those tire kickers Seymours.
Yes.
They just want to see more, see more. I'm like, oh, I love that. Well, you're talking about the right people, and I think that is a great first place to start. Is we see a lot of broken targeting when it comes to funnels. So what do you see when, as a CMO, what do you think, and how do you want to explain targeting to people and how this can be so wrong for building a great B2B funnel?
Sure. So targeting has a lot of different elements. And of course, the first one is the human being, because you always have to start with who is the person that I'm talking to with my funnel. Who do I want in my funnel? Who do I want to exclude from my funnel because they're just going to waste my time, or they're people that I can't help, so it's going to be a waste of their time. So we often see that organizations target their funnel to either the wrong persona because they have wishful thinking around the level of decision maker within an organization who would actually be exposed to their marketing. So we just want to sell to CEOs. You can't always get a CEO into your funnel, but you can often get a brand champion other places within your organization into a funnel because they're the ones that are tasked with the research and the early decision making. Sometimes people just don't understand exactly, for example, which industry they should be targeting. So they're like, well, any company that has this kind of problem could benefit from my software, for example, but they are not defining actually it's, high mix, low volume manufacturing organizations that have the exact problem badly enough that they're going to pay attention to my advertising. And sometimes it's not necessarily that they've gotten the target persona wrong, it's just they haven't started their funnel on the right platform. So you have to make sure you're not only capturing attention, but you're capturing it on the platform where people are most likely to take action on that decision. We've seen some very interesting interplay of different platforms where it's not necessarily the place that you would think. For some people, it is absolutely, it's a Google ad that's going to capture their attention, bring them in. For others, it's social media. And even in the B2B space, it's not always LinkedIn where they would take their first step forward. If the business solution that you're providing actually solves a very personal problem for the persona from an emotional standpoint, it might be on a social media platform where they're hanging out and ideating their ideal future, more of a relationship-oriented social media platform where they would take that first step. So identifying the right persona and the right platform are two of the areas where targeting comes into play.
I've seen it also where they do targeting at the wrong time. So they build the funnel, they ideate this cool thing, and maybe they get it right. Like maybe it's a great headline, maybe it's a really high-value offer, and then they go, okay, what's our targeting? Like, let's pretend they're going to be on LinkedIn or they're going to be on Meta. Like, what? Whoa, no. Targeting should have come first. So then you're thinking, what does this persona need? Or are they struggling with? Why would they be interested? And I remember a number of years ago, we worked with a healthcare software company. And, they had been doing digital marketing and putting lots of stuff out there. And it looked like beautiful stuff from the outside in. And when we get in, and they are saying, we've got these broken funnels. And the reason is because the personas that they were targeting and spending a lot of money on were end users. So yes, the end users benefit from the platform and get efficiency and sanity and time saving, and they cannot spend a dime with that company. They can't even be brand champions like you mentioned. And so what they had done is they had bragged about all of the benefits and created this very cool funnel for people that could never convince or make a buying decision at all. And it hurt their feelings that we had to basically completely unravel that one. But you have to understand how revenue eventually flows through the organization and who are we targeting in order to create that cascading effect. So
that's a really good example of when people think they're doing lead generation marketing and what they're actually doing is product marketing.
Yes, exactly. And this wasn't even demand gen, because these people didn't have enough clout in the organization to demand it from the people that actually had buying decisions. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, the next one, and this is really hand in hand for me, the wrong offer.
Oh, right.
The wrong offer. If you're offering a checklist, if you're offering a white paper and they don't like that type of content, don't need that type of content, if it is something that you want to brag about and they do not value it in the research portion of their, pain resolution when they're thinking about how do we solve this problem or how do we make progress on this, it doesn't matter what it is, they will not engage. And so we see a lot, this goes back to the product marketing component of a lot of companies are like, well, this is what we want out there. This is the message we want out there. Well, that is not the message that they want to receive or engage with. So don't do that.
Exactly. So anything that helps bring value to your prospects by, to Dacia's point, helping them make progress, that's the thing that you want in your marketing funnel. So there should not be anything in your marketing funnel that's just about what you want to tell people and what you want them to know. That had better be couched and embedded into something that is exactly the thing that they've been wanting or the thing they didn't even know they need, but they're so excited they have the chance to dive into, so that they are getting the information that they need to make progress from their perspective while they're being trained into understanding more about your product or service in a way that makes sense to them.
Yeah. It goes back to what we were saying at the top is progress. They are progressing towards pain resolution, towards buying decision that activates their ability to achieve a goal. Their progress, not our sales progress.
So let's talk about some things that really do work as lead magnets.
Yeah.
Top of funnel, the kind of things that people love. So some of the types of lead magnets that we've seen work really, really well for B2B over the years are, number one, tools and templates. So again, we talked about people who are tire kickers who want to stay in the education mode forever and the ones who actually want to move forward into making a purchasing decision. One key distinction between those two groups is that the people who want to move forward are the ones who are willing to put in the time to actively try and solve a problem. They're the ones who want to use a tool or use a template, so they're doing something to move forward instead of just thinking about it.
I completely agree with this one. And a lot of people, we get a lot of pushback, of course, is, well, we don't want to give away the farm. We don't want to show all of our secrets. These are very busy people, very busy. And what often happens is that they start actively using that tool or that template, and they realize they don't have the bandwidth to do it. And they come back to the people that built that. And even it being so good for your brand reputation, and embedding yourself into their day-to-day activities, you don't know when they're going to have a buying need. And so I really love the integrity embedded into giving some very specific and actionable progress. And you're right. This helps avoid tire kickers because they wouldn't bother. They're just going to sit there and read and ask and read and ask and never do anything about it. So those are definitely my favorites. I like to accompany them with how-to videos. So then there's that personal aspect where people can really figure it out. It's not a bait and switch. We're giving something too complicated. So I love these kind. Am I allowed to bring up the one that I don't love?
Please do.
Okay. So a lot of people oftentimes want to offer a demo, technology companies, SaaS companies, any type of thing. And that's not usually the first thing they want. They are trying to understand all of their options and create progress on how they're going to, move forward in their business or in their role. Your demo only creates progress for you unless they are so far along in the buying decision that now they are really ready to get specific because there is buying intent. But a marketing funnel is disruptive. It's not necessarily targeting activated buying intent. You are activating that buying intent by creating faster progress through that research phase for them.
I would say one of my other favorites is if you have the ability to help your buyers advance professionally.
Yeah.
So anytime you can put together a CEU training course or something that helps them earn professional development hours, if it's something that's helping them make progress on their career goals, even if it's what you're offering is not directly related to buy my product, that's a really, really great way to get people into your funnel because you're proving value early and you're making it about them.
It's a great one. I mean, like this is an adjacent idea, but there's a lot of buyer personas where they have to sell in your idea. And because they're the ones that are going to be that advocate, but they're not the final decision. So oftentimes teaching them how to manage up or create structures or value calculations or anything that helps them align with upper management. I mean, there's just so many things once you start tapping into the human being on the other side and literally just seeking into walking in their shoes and going, wow, how do we help that human being on the other side of this funnel really make exciting progress in their career or in their problem or anything like that?
The final thing I'd like to say about the offer in your marketing funnel is it's not one offer. At every single stage in that funnel, you are offering something. And the whole point of building a marketing funnel and figuring out how to optimize it comes back to testing offers. And you're testing offers at every single stage of your funnel because you have to get the next yes and the next yes and the next yes. So don't just think, well, I had an amazing lead magnet at the top, and now why are people just not responding to my emails where I'm like, can I help you? Can I help you? Do you have any questions about this? You have to be offering something of value at every stage in your funnel to keep people moving forward.
Oh, I love that. And for me, that really leads into the next one. And hopefully it doesn't feel to the audience like it's the same thing, because it's really not. And that's making sure that you get the messaging right. And it's because of that journey that people go on with a marketing funnel. So for instance, we were talking about a curiosity hook or a mirrored hook on the very beginning. Now that's the messaging that is the attention exchange. And so you're asking them to click and just spend a couple seconds with you. Now you're moving into a different component of messaging. And again, you've got to stay inside of your buyer's mindset. Why did they click on that? What are they expecting next? And you pick up straight from that. And now you continue to add value. And then when Daisy's talking about testing, there are so many things now that they are on your landing page that you can test. The structure of the message, how short, how long, different headlines, as long as they align with the original hook, and even testing very specific offers, and sometimes even the delivery of those offers. So there's a journey, but you've got to make sure that you are thinking about what does this person need in order to really understand and really get value and exchange attention and then time in order to prepare for exchanging money with you. At the Marketing Blender, we have fractional CMOs and outsourced marketing teams to drive your success. The two most common problems that we are approached about is how do we break revenue plateaus and accelerate success, or how do we attribute marketing to revenue impact? And the answer is that we build a system, because your marketing should be driving revenue, it should be driving your reputation, and it should be driving resilience. If you want to learn more, check out themarketingblender.com.
One of the things that I see very often with marketing funnels, especially if there's, for example, a paid ad campaign that's being run toward it, people aren't always tracking the right things when it comes to understanding the success of their marketing funnel. And our digital specialist, Ramsey Sanchez, sees this all the time with Google Ads campaigns that he's brought in to audit, where they'll be set up to maximize toward clicks. Clicks don't mean money, except money coming out of your budget and going to Google. The thing that you want to be driving toward is conversions, and you need to define what a conversion is correctly. So we've seen ad campaigns that were set up so that clicks actually counted as conversions. Oh, somebody clicked on your landing page, so no, that's a conversion. That's what we're optimizing for. We actually don't care how many people click on a landing page. We only care that it's the right people. We've given them the right message and the right offer for them to take their next step. Often that's a form fill. But there are also steps that you can be tracking beyond a form fill. So for example, do they fill out the form and then, do they actually have the discovery meeting? What are the things that actually drive revenue? Or if they're filling out the form, are those being validated afterward? Because you could get people who are clicking through your landing page and filling out your form who are not your target customers because you've got something wrong with your targeting. And you won't know that if you're like, well, we're getting the conversions that we want, or we've decided that, if they download this piece, they're now a lead, a sales qualified lead just because they took our lead magnet, and they're not actually defining the metric at each step of the funnel that says, yes, this is the correct action and it's the correct people taking that action. So you really have to validate what's the quality of the actions that are being taken. Are these aligned with your target goals?
Agreed. You know, and I like to just demystify this, like practical language, right? So we're talking about conversions. Now, a lot of times when I talk about conversions, I'm saying we're converting interest into inquiry. You guys, B2B marketing funnels are not about sales inquiry. Occasionally, but very, very rarely. So we are talking about converting curiosity into attention, into time investment, right? So interest. So we're getting that interest peaked for them. And that's really what it's about. So now you've got people that know you exist. They know why you exist. They know what type of value, and they're tracking with you, and you can track them. So we are literally talking about human beings understanding and expanding the reach of who you are. Now, if it is a form fill, now they're in your automation system, your CRM, where you can see what they're doing and you can nurture them in different ways. But occasionally a conversion might be a video. It might be something else that doesn't require a form fill, but you can still track and see what's happening in your broader marketing ecosystem so that enough people know your name. So those form fills or those final conversions are absolutely critical. And then it works backwards. Daisy's exactly right. Clicks, good. Clicks validate that you got a headline right. But if they're not translating to an appropriate ratio of people taking that final step, well, then there's something broken along that pathway. Once they got to the landing page, it wasn't what they were expecting or didn't drive the value that they want. So really experiencing, like forcing yourself to think about the experience they're going through and did they get what they wanted out of this is absolutely critical, because all of these marketing metrics, they're human beings making micro decisions, and those micro decisions are important for not wasting money. So I love that you're bringing up when a campaign is structured wrong. And we see a lot of clients who've been doing digital marketing for a long time, and they're like, it used to work and now it's not working. Now what they mean is they used to get leads and now they're getting less leads. But then when we really start getting into metrics, they've never really understood what the funnel metrics actually were. And then it's very difficult to be a great partner to your marketing team, whether they're internal or external, if it's just all been marketing jargon and inappropriate metrics the entire time.
Yes, and it's really frustrating, but it's just the nature of marketing that stuff that worked in the past is not going to work in the future.
Amen, sister. Right?
And yes, we talk with a lot of companies where they're like, 3 years ago, we were getting all kinds of stuff. And it's like algorithms change, buyer behaviors change, competitive landscape changes, lots and lots of things that you can't control. But if you understand the principles of building a strong marketing funnel, then you can make those changes at each step of it that actually help human beings make their next decision, because human beings are always going to be making decisions.
Exactly.
So it's always just a matter of what do we refine, what do we change in order to stay in front of them and help them move forward.
Exactly. Because here's the good news and the bad news. There is no finish line to marketing, ever. It's like saying, oh, I don't have to breathe anymore because I've taken enough breaths. No, there's no finish line to marketing. And it's also why we are so focused on system building and resilience, because wow, what a competitive advantage when you're reading the data, when you saw the buyer behavior change, when you saw the download or the video, you know, like that starting to deteriorate, and it allowed you to ask questions. Oh, I wonder what's changing. I wonder where they're going. I wonder what else is going to work, or the platform changed, or the algorithm changed. And, you know, just because something stops working 1 year doesn't mean 2 years later it's not going to work again. Like, you just have to be willing to be okay with the fact that human beings are complex. We are always changing, and that how you engage with your future customers should have that level of care and thoughtfulness. It's no set it and forget it model here. I mean, you might get it right that for 6 months that campaign crushed, but if you don't know why, you're not going to know what to do on the back end of it when it starts, you know, when that effectiveness starts to deteriorate.
Very true.
Okay. Oh, I just saw the one that's next on the list. And you guys know that I cut my teeth in sales. So lack of follow-up, one of the most massive, frustrating reasons that a B2B marketing funnel is just broken and wasting all of your money. And follow-up can come from so many different places. You can see I'm like getting up on my soapbox right now. So Daisy, I'm going to like hand it over to you to kick us off, because this one just gets my blood boiling.
one of the most common issues that people have with their marketing funnel is people are falling out of my funnel. Where are they going? Why is this happening? If you're not building walls to your funnel that are solid, that keep pinging people back into engagement, of course they're falling out of it. And what are those solid walls of the funnel? They're made of follow-up. They're made of not just, here's an email. Well, we sent them emails. It's multi-channel follow-up. It's follow-up that includes additional value and every single step. It's follow-up that includes a clear call to action or a clear next step for them to take at every stage as well. So if you're not building follow-up into your funnel intentionally and rigorously, of course people are going to seep away.
Yeah, inappropriate follow-up. One massive marketing automation company, the second you click on any of their tools, you get a sales call, inappropriate follow-up. Drives me crazy. Now, at least they have it, but, you know, again, mapping that journey that a prospective buyer is going through, what brings them value, what keeps them engaged. And really for me, the goal when you're doing this type of funnel is for them to be like, God, these guys just get it. Like, I just love these people. You know, where when you have an email, they are actually disappointed if they're too busy. You know, and I've got those people where I will not unsubscribe to them, even if I haven't read one of their emails in a couple weeks, because I know it's good stuff. And I'm sad that I've been too busy to engage with that. And so that is an email example, but it can be retargeting. Sometimes it is sales enablement. Sometimes it triggers multiple different things, but oh my gosh, keep what you paid for. Oh.
Yes. One good experience that I had recently was on a technology platform website, and I was engaging with some of their thought leadership. So I was doing research to solve a problem for one of my clients, and they were using their chatbot to do like really good engagement on the website. So they, instead of being like, oh, well, let's make you fill out a form and then a salesperson's going to call you as soon as you do that, it was giving me ungated access, but then the chatbot was popping up and saying, I see you're looking at this. Here are 2 related pieces of content that may help you with it.
Love that.
Very, very nice. And when I did end up on a discovery call with one of their sales reps, he'd actually gone in and read the chatbot conversation, so he knew what I had already learned about.
Didn't waste your time.
Did not waste my time at all, was prepared with answers to the questions he knew I was going to ask based on what pieces of content I had engaged with. And I was like, oh, this is how marketing funnels are supposed to be.
Get it.
One beautiful combination. You know, they had organic SEO that made sure that I found their website, learned the things I needed to learn, went through the process on my terms, the way I wanted to. I was able to schedule a demo, you know, based on when I wanted to have it. And it was that really beautiful sales and marketing alignment. So if you do have the opportunity to build a marketing funnel that goes all the way down into sales and into deal closure, that's a really, really beautiful thing in B2B.
I love it. And that brings me to tracking that entire process that you just described, because all of that is valuable. And we probably haven't talked about this in a while, but I really want you guys to own this component I'm about to give you. When it comes to digital marketing, you should not be asking, will this work? If you've gone through the process that we're explaining and really watching out for these landmines and avoiding them, you should be asking, when will it work? And that means metrics all the way through. So you can literally see buyer behavior, and their process is so valuable to you because you can reap value and continue to get more and more opportunities out of that marketing funnel as long as you're being patient and as long as you have a long-term vision of success and maximizing your return on investment.
So where do you track the metrics for your marketing funnel? Lots and lots of different platforms have different tools. We're always big fans of our clients using their CRM to do the tracking at each stage if they can, because it gives you a single dashboard and an easy way to see everything working together. But honestly, if you need to pull reports from 5 different systems and plug them into an Excel spreadsheet, do it. It's more important to have that data in front of you so you can make informed decisions than it is to be like, well, we have to have all of the things in one dashboard in order to make decisions.
Yeah, exactly. So every single, the reach, you know, which are impressions, the clicks, if you have heat mapping or if you have metrics around how long do people spend on landing pages, tracking what's happening there, the conversions, the follow-up, how many people are staying inside of those nice solid walls that bring value so much. And then conversion to revenue. Like, how many people out of your marketing qualified lead ecosystem turn into sales qualified leads? There are benchmarks that you can pull from industry standards, and I recommend that you do that. But here's what I really want. I want you to benchmark your current state, because that's what you know progress looks like. So yes, have a goal. Understand what excellence is defined as in the industry. Believe it loosely, but benchmark your own current state so that you're making progress and you're asking better and better questions, because the quality of the questions leads to high quality answers. All right, one final thing I wanted to bring up that I think we're hovering all around, but I want to just be so explicit around this, is we are not usually talking about sales qualified leads when we are talking about B2B marketing funnels. Agree? Disagree?
I would say it depends on the length and complexity of the funnel. So typically I see if it's usually a marketing funnel if it has a ton of steps in it. If you have a clear opportunity to go from Google ad to landing page to form fill to discovery call,
absolutely,
that's a sales qualified lead funnel, and it's very short and it's very straightforward. If it's lots and lots and lots of steps, it's because you have a large portion of your target market that is future funnel.
Yeah.
So the people who are not ready to buy right now. And those are important to cultivate because that's your revenue 18 months from now.
That's right.
So yes, often if someone is bringing to you a concept for a B2B marketing funnel that's long and complex, it's because you actually want to build resilience into your business and into your pipeline. And even though those are more complicated to build and there are more steps in them, they give you much broader reach and they help you position yourself more effectively against your competitors because you're getting to people sooner in their process, sometimes even before they're aware of their problem, so that you're the brand that's embedded in their mind. So yes, marketing qualified leads do come from the more complicated marketing funnels that we see.
Yeah, and I think the reason I want to bring this up is because I love to encourage leaders and marketers alike to be comfortable with the question of when will we see results? Now, notice the tone I'm using. When will we see results? Right? Now, that is a collaborative tone around explain to me the rationale, what are our assumptions around the buyer's journey, and what kind of intent do they have? Is it research intent? Are they going deeper on what they've learned, or are they at buying intent? And by the way, you can figure this out. You should have a strategy around what this is and why we're offering this and where in the buyer's journey, as long as it's been documented. And there is a huge difference between that versus when are we going to see results? Because that just puts everybody on the defensive, right? And then you won't get a healthy answer because now everybody's very protective. But, you know, if we've got a longer funnel, you know, like you said, if we're trying to make sure that we're greasing the wheels so that you hit your year-end number for 2025, okay, well, then it is appropriate that you're in early research phase and that you're the first touch that they're getting when they're going through this. Now, you know, if we're in the middle, and people are starting to compare A versus B and like very specific features and details or anything that really shows next level understanding. Okay, now we are going to assume based on your sales cycle, we're getting closer to near term. And then exactly like you said, there are certain buying intent where you can predict that this is right now. They have an urgent need. They are going to choose someone. And that funnel is much shorter. And it is on both sides aimed towards creating a sales engagement because both parties want it and want it soon.
And I think one final thing to point out is that if you're building a funnel that's specifically targeting SQLs, you are not getting MQLs from that.
No.
Because you're only putting that highly targeted messaging in front of people who are already close to the bottom of the funnel. And it does nothing for the people who aren't there yet.
No, that's such a great point because I have heard leaders say, well, are we nurturing the people that we didn't get? No, we're not, because it was a yes or no answer. it was right there, tip of the spear.
Qualified or disqualified.
That's right, exactly. So you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. We sure have. But marketing funnels are a really great addition and should be a common practice for a robust marketing system. But they're not a silver bullet. There is no magic fairy dust that just poof, you turn on a funnel and it works. It is a philosophy and a collaborative effort to really understand how to best serve a buyer all the way through their journey. And let me tell you, when you are doing that, you are setting people up for an outstanding customer experience. Because if you were that good to them before they ever paid you, just imagine how amazing you're going to be and how much loyalty you will be building once you have that revenue activated. So thank you guys so much. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. We would love to hear your comments, feedback, tools, questions, anything like that. And we will see you next week on Word Network.